Jeff from Prime Concepts, what's your favorite color? Oh, gotta go. Hey there, so I was thinking, if you ignore the tragic backstory of Buddy the Elf, you know, that whole not knowing his real family for 30 years thing and being so poorly cared for by his orphanage that he's unknowingly whisked away by Saint Nick himself, the guy, or the elf, what is he again? Actually has a pretty sweet gig. As the only human at Santa's workshop, he gets to eat as much candy as he wants.
Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
Learn at the foot or on the lap of the wisest elf at the North Pole, and he only has to produce 85 Etch-a-Sketches a day instead of the typical 1,000.
Puts you 915 off the pace.
But after Buddy learns that he's not going to live to be like 6,000, he sets out for New York City on foot to discover his true identity.
Bye, Buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Between Santa's workshop, Gimbals, and Buddy's dad's publishing company, A Lot of Elf, the 2003 classic starring Will Ferrell, takes place at work. So it stands to reason that business lessons are scattered throughout the film's 97 minutes. I'm Jeff from Prime Concepts, and on day 3 of Do You See What I See, we invite you to enjoy the top 5 business secrets from Elf.
And then, to finish, we'll snuggle.
Number 1, bloom where you're planted. Circumstances can change everything. If Buddy hadn't crawled into Santa's sack at the orphanage, he might have spent his entire childhood shuffling between families and battling the massive insecurities that come with abandonment.
Just need some alone time.
Instead, he ended up at the North Pole and emotionally thrived in an environment that didn't cater to humans. When he wandered into a job at Gimbals in New York, he literally made the place more merry and bright. You don't always get to choose your surroundings, but you can make them better by just being yourself, having a positive attitude, and arming yourself with the best light bright skills this side of the North Pole. Number 2, be a good mentor. You know why Buddy never felt out of place at Santa's workshop, even though he had to notice fairly early on that he was growing out of the standard-sized yellow tights? It's because Bob Newhart in an elf costume, which will never not be hilariously charming, made Buddy feel like one of the girls, like one of the elves. If you're in charge of helping to guide the career of someone else, figure out what sets them apart and celebrate their unique qualities. Buddy got to be an individual and part of a team at the same time because he was mentored by a comedy legend who knew how to set Buddy up for his own version of success. Number 3, don't rest on success. Ed Asner in a Santa costume had the right idea. Immediately after a successful night flying around the world to eat cookies, scare dogs, and leave PlayStations under the tree for spoiled children around the world, old Edward Claus puts that great night behind him.
It's time to start preparations for next Christmas.
Now, it's okay to celebrate success, especially if you have 364 days until you're officially back on the clock. But you also have to remember that success came from a lot of planning, strategizing, and hard work, and you probably have to work even harder to replicate it. So take a moment to revel in your achievement, and then get back to work on those Etch-a-Sketches, man. Number 4, recognize when you're becoming complacent. Walter Hobbs, aka Buddy's real dad, isn't a nice guy.
He's on the naughty list.
And hell hath no fury like a Lou Grant scorned.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
Our older viewers will get that one. Walter's job is to put out quality books for children, but he's placed quality behind making money, and his work and creativity suffer because of it.
You know how much that's going to cost?
2 whole pages are missing. The story doesn't make any sense.
Well, you think some kid's gonna notice 2 pages?
Walter finally figures this out when Buddy taps into his softer side, and thankfully, it's not too late.
You did it! Congratulations!
Being complacent isn't something you just work through. You have to change something, learn a new skill, take a risk, take a day or 2 off to recharge. If Walter is any indication, being stagnant is just going to turn you into a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. We need to bleep that? And number 5, put work in its proper place. By the end of the movie, Walter is singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town in a crowd of people fully enraptured by the Christmas spirit.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
So what put Walter in such a festive mood? Not work, Dude had just lost his job.
You finished at Greenway! You finished!
It was the realization, finally, that family comes first. Yes, work is important. Yes, it deserves your full attention when you're on the job. But when you leave the office, leave stress and worry behind and focus on what really matters. Love, family, community, and as much syrup as you can get your hands on.
You know what? I think I have something. Yes.
Smiling's my favorite. That's why I'm doing it right now. That doesn't necessarily fit here, but I wasn't able to work it in during the lessons, and I thought it was important to share.
Make work your favorite. That's your favorite, okay?
Speaking of sharing, did you find any other hidden business lessons in ELF? Share it in the comments below and get the conversation started. Thanks for watching. See you next time.